So, my name is Vladimir, I'm a journalist.
Denis.
Shall we talk?
Let's talk.
Let's talk. That is, you do give your voluntary consent to record and publish this interview.
Well, it turns out that way. And what about the call? It's not working.
His wife answered. But then she deleted the message. Let me hook it up.
Okay. Well, can we try to call after all?
Let's try. Let's try to call. So, last name? Once again, do you give voluntary consent to record and publish this interview? Last and first name, date of birth, where from?
Denis Georgievich, June 16, 1976, from Moscow.
From Moscow itself?
Yes.
What did you do in Moscow?
Tourism.
Some company?
No, private entrepreneur.
Well, a private entrepreneur provided services for...
Tourism, well, excursions there.
Around Moscow itself, right?
Yes.
Understood. And why did you decide to go to war?
I got a criminal case. They gave me 8 years. And there are no options there. They just tell you that you're going to war and that's it.
And what was the criminal case for? What did you get 8 years for?
Well, that's a complicated question. I don't think it's related to the interview. It's a personal story.
Well, this personal story relates to what is happening, because it's not only you who get criminal cases, pin it on them.
No, they didn't pin it on me. I'm really guilty. Well, like, why this dirty laundry that doesn't relate to the topic of the interview?
So you're guilty?
Of course.
Guilty, understood.
Guilty, no question there.
Right away, getting ahead of events, well, return to that situation where you are guilty, and we're 8 years and they offer again. You go again?
Yes, I am going again. Well, what else to do?
Understood. Tough. Could you have been killed?
Complicated question because I didn't have a situation where I could kill someone.
No, you misunderstood. Could you have been killed?
Yes, I could have been killed. When I actually arrived, well, I mentally said goodbye to everyone. Because I'm clumsy, fat, I run like shit. I don't know how to do anything useful. That is, I was ready for the fact that I would die.
So, in priorities?
The priorities were simple. Well, like to sit for 80 years and come out at 56 years old as a useless criminal, and here there is a chance.
Do you have a family?
Well, family, like, yes, there is.
Wife, children?
Well, divorced, but there are children, yes.
No, wait. To come out at 50-plus years old as a useless criminal, but still live, or...
Well, why? My life ended actually with that story when I got the criminal case.
Okay, fine.
The way it was before will never be again, and here, well, there is some chance to end it quickly.
Okay, fine. So I just understand. Then from the moral point of view, war, weapons, murder, killing someone, what justifies this?
Well, it's war. This is not our first war, not only here, it's generally a constant war in principle.
I understood.
If there is a chance to end everything abruptly and quickly, to die or not, to go prison and somehow return to normal life, then you have to use it.
That is, can you kill a person in order to return to normal life?
I didn't think that I would kill someone. I thought that rather they would kill me. Well, I saw who we are fighting against, and I know the level of my training. I understand that I wouldn't make it. That is, I could get lucky, and I think I got lucky. Bless you. You see, I'm telling the truth.
Obviously. At least many think so. Okay. Did you go straight from prison?
Yes, well, they gave me the sentence and put me in pretrial detention the same day, and accordingly, like...
And how did the thought to go to war come to you in general? Well, did someone offer?
Well, you come to pretrial detention, they offer you, will you go? I immediately said, yes, I will go.
Understood. So, what happened next? When did this happen in general?
On November 21st of last year, they sentenced me, and the 21st they locked me up. On the 21st, I gave my consent to go. And somewhere on 2 or 3 weeks, I actually left.
So, what happened next?
Next was, what then on the 6th or some December, they signed the contract and sent me to training. We were in training for 2 or 3 weeks. Before New Year, we arrived directly in the area of the city of Volchansk. On the 9th of January, they brought me into Volchansk. On the 10th in the morning, I was captured. That's the end of the story.
Brought in on the 9th and captured
Well,
on the
9th,
10th.
I entered Volchansk. On the 10th in the morning, I was captured.
Perfect. Then, if possible, tell me about this assault.
Well, there was some assault planned, but they didn't really explain it to us. That is, there was a group commander who was supposed to command what we do. Actually, we ran, I think, damn, you have to run 200 meters there, but everything is exploding around.
Oh, yes.
Well, there was a position.
So?
Well, it's a position, just a pile of bricks. They told us there's a pile of bricks, there's
So?
a hole, you need to get into it. 7 of us ran, 2 died on the way, 5 still made it to the position.
2 died from drones.
Well, there were both drone drops and kamikaze drones hitting. I was running in, well, crawling in last because I was the last to reach.
Not that fat and clumsy after all.
Well, everyone had already run in long ago, and I basically walked. If you take and watch this video, it will be funny.
Video, yes? Understood.
I reached and accordingly climbed in last. When I was climbing into this hole, a drone hit and I was slightly confused. And when I actually came to my senses, out of the 5 people who reached, 3 had already gone out there. And actually, I went out 4th, the commander went out last, 5th. That is, we were taken prisoners, so to speak. Period. Then for 16 days I was there, then I stepped on a mine, blew up and went to the hospital.
We're there. In this hole?
No, when we were being led out of Volchansk, it turned out that on the way I stepped awkwardly somewhere and blew up on mine.
Well, so it's not 1 day.
No, we were there for 16 days, from the 10th to the 26th. On the 26th
But
I
you
blew
said
up,
that you
and on
entered
the
on the
27th
9th.
I got to the hospital. We entered on the 9th, and on the 10th we were captured. They took us to some room where other prisoners and wounded were already sitting.
So you stepped on something
Yes.
while already in captivity?
Yes.
I understood. And how exactly did you get captured?
Well, we climbed into this pile of bricks so that we were told to storm. And I climbed in 5th. When I was climbing in there, they were already
So?
hitting drones. And accordingly, a drone exploded behind me and I was confused.
So?
When I came to a bit, there were already 3 people from our group. There were 5 of us in total. 3 people had already surrendered. Well, like already
And
gone
our
out.
guys were there, it
Yes.
turns out, in this
Yes,
building.
there were about 20 of your people there.
That is, you actually climbed into our guys under the barrel of a
Well,
gun.
it turns out that way. As I understand it, they didn't shoot at us only because there was an order to take prisoners.
Well, prisoners, of course, need
And
to
when
be
we
taken.
climbed in, there was already, well, no chance. Because we were sitting in a stone bag and there was nowhere to go. In general, we were sitting in a pit where the last explosion had blocked the entrance and that's it.
Understood.
Nowhere further to go.
Understood. Good lucky.
Well, that I'm alive, of course lucky.
Objective assessment of reality.
Well, honestly, I didn't expect this. Then I expected that most likely I would either kill or be deadly wounded and get discharged. Well, it turns out the same, but through the captivity.
Well, whether it turns out or not, it will be clear only after the exchange.
Well, yes. Well, while I'm alive, that's a fact.
Well, it just happened that people don't get home but go straight back to war after exchange.
Well, not with my injury.
And what is the injury?
Well, my leg was torn off.
No leg.
Yes.
I just didn't notice that there was no leg.
Without a leg, like I'm not going anywhere anymore.
Yes, here, of course, you wouldn't run much. And how did it happen that your leg was torn off?
Well, we were leaving Volchansk already after we
They
were
are
captured.
leading you. I think your eyes were blindfolded and everything.
No, we walked in a big long chain and there everything was being bombed. That is, they told us, well, you go out at your own risk. If you get out, you get out. If not, you don't. Well, like
And
the
our
direction
guys
is
were
going
leading
and
you,
everyone
or
is
you
going
were
in that
walking
direction.
yourselves?
Well, yours were walking in front. They were walking in front with their wounded. That is, and
Get
we were
out,
walking
get out.
behind.
Don't get out, don't
Yeah,
get
that
out.
is just follow us well, and there watch your step.
Good. It turns out he didn't watch your step.
Well, didn't watch. Well, not only I didn't watch, so.
So? And how did they carry you out there?
Well, that's it. Our own prisoners of war pulled me out. They loaded me into some pickup and accordingly took me to the
Not
hospital.
a very romantic situation in general, right?
And what is romantic here? Good that they didn't
No,
abandon
well,
me.
many people romanticize war. I think many...
War is blood, dirt, and death. What is romantic here?
Would you advise Moscow whom you treat well? Well, fellow countrymen, friends, comrades, relatives. Would you advise going to war without a visible reason?
Without a visible reason, no one will go to war. For a visible reason, everyone will go.
What are the visible reasons?
Well,
Well, the term clear.
the term.
Second visible reason.
Second visible reason, someone close died near me.
So, well, a close one already died, that is, you yourself need to go die?
Well, no.
Or kill someone, take
Just for
revenge,
example,
yes?
know people whose son died, and a person, because of this,
So-
loses the meaning of life and goes to take revenge of
Understood.
his son. This is already a
Money,
domestic
visible
situation.
reason.
Well, you know, when they say money, I think no, because the money there is not that big.
Well, it depends on who. Well, the fact is that 90%...
Well, for some desperate people, maybe yes.
Well, for desperate, yes, desperate. Just there are a lot of this desperate, 90% no less. Well, and
Well,
the rest
you
from
communicate
prisons.
with many.
Many.
I saw only those with whom I'm in captivity, and there definitely no one went for money. There, everyone is from prison. They're not from prison, maybe one or two people.
And I say that this is the first visible reason which...
Yes, everyone goes from there.
Well, in principle, those who from prison, you can't say that it's money directly. But it's still an interest in terms of clearing the biography and in terms of...
I'm ready to agree with you, but there is also a moment specifically regarding money. Since sometime in January, the first of the months, I guess, prisoners are not paid money, no signing bonuses, nothing. That is, all these crazy millions, they are no longer paid since January. It turns out that now it's March
Did
for
you
us.
hear that?
Well, yesterday there was a prisoner, they still paid him 2
2
million.
million.
The situation there is that the head of government signed a decree that now prisoners are not paid these big signing bonuses.
Maybe this in some separate region or somewhere.
No, this is in all Russian government, yes. And this is a direct fact. And the prisoners who are going now, they are going without money. Well, this is
No, they
honest.
go... Let's divide. There are some big payments,
These
like
big
they
ones
kind
are
of...
no longer paid, just a salary.
For salary. And the
Some
salary...
around 200,000 ruble, that's $2,000. Well, this is not the money for which is worth going to die.
Well, it depends on who. Well, no, of course, it's not worth dying here, I completely agree. It's just that there are some who think that it's worth it. That's how it is. Understood. So, great. Are you an educated person?
Yes,
What education?
higher.
Higher. Specifically, economic maybe.
Well, specifically economic,
I
yes.
guessed right. Economics.
Yes.
So, did you think, well, you went to war in the fourth year. Well, it was almost already toward the end, right? The war had been going on for almost
Well,
3
yes,
years
yes,
and
yes.
you went to war. Did you think about why this war? Who need this war? What are its reasons?
Well, the war, this conflict, this has been going on for more than 10 years already. So, what the reasons were there, God knows.
Didn't think. Honest answer, didn't think.
Honestly, I didn't think so. I'm generally not very interested in these political issues, economic issues, which, let's say, don't concern me personally.
I understand, I just have to ask. That is, you don't know the reasons for yourself. Your only motivation is to somehow avoid this term.
In fact, yes.
Well, I'm expressing it in
Yes, in simple
words.
words, exactly like that.
That is how it is. Everything is clear.
A term that is unbearable for me, that's all.
Understood everything. Understood everything. Well, let's write a call. So, well, this is your, as I understand, ex-wife. My name is Vladimir. I'm a journalist from Ukraine. Your ex-husband, he's in captivity with us. Yesterday we wrote to you about this. Will you talk to him?
Well, let's talk.
The conversation is being recorded and for publication. Here we go.
And why do you need the recording?
I need the recording first of all so that other people listen, well, people from Russia who go to kill Ukrainians, and draw conclusions for themselves whether it's worth going it or not. What do you think? Is it worth it or not?
I'm not going to answer these questions. I'm not competent. What do you want from me?
I'm not asking you to be a competent person. I'm just asking you as one person to another.
And I don't want to answer these questions. What do you want from me?
I asked you if you would talk to your husband.
Let me talk to my husband.
So I asked you, will you talk?
I answered you yes. I will talk, not with you.
Why are you shouting at me?
I'm not shouting because I'm on pills and I can't talk to you in a normal tone.
Huh. Understood. I answered your question, why do I need the recording?
I don't know, I missed it. And why are you calling then?
Well, the opportunity to call is provided. I'm just calling to at least see each other.
Okay,
I
understood.
just assume.
Just for what purpose will be this posted somewhere? I still don't
And I
understand.
can say more add to this question. I understand that he is an ex-husband and your relationship is probably no longer the warmest. But are you going to do anything at all to bring him home or not?
No, and what difference does it make to me?
To add at the sea, there is nothing to add to the above.
But he has new wife? Why should I know?
But he didn't tell me about it, that he has a new wife. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't say that he has a new wife for some reason he called you. Why didn't we call the new wife?
Well, he has children. That's why he, if you heard, was asking
I
about
saw
the
this
children.
were his children from you, that these are your children.
So not only does he definitely have children with me, but they're probably scattered all over the world. If he didn't have other children and other women, maybe we wouldn't have divorced.
However,
Are you interested in the details of our personal life, or what? I can't understand.
I'm interested in someone going to advocate for this person. To your structures, to the Ministry of Attack, right? And to take him home through exchange and take our fighter home from Russian captivity. That what interests me. And your personal life, to put it mildly, is so-so.
I think the Ministry of Defense deals with this.
I think not.
You probably should also write a petition, as you put it, on your own behalf, and we will write to the Ministry of Defense, and it will be
Why should I
probably
write to
figured
them
out.
on my own behalf? That's why we are recording a video on our own behalf, that here he is in Ukraine in captivity. They all, for some reason, the previous one was listed as missing in action. We talked to his brother and he asks, how is he listed as missing if here he is in captivity? That is, someone has to go and prove that he is in captivity, not missing. In short, that's the goal. If you don't go, wouldn't do anything, and we don't call the one who will go and do it, then at least they will watch, maybe will, and actually... Yes. And you're an official, right?
No,
What do you do?
I sit at home raising children.
Understood. You just seem to be in some official building. In an office.
What makes you think?
You had a coat of arms. It flashed at the very beginning. And in general, some folders are stacked. No, I don't think that I'm very interested in this, I just asked.
I work at MFC.
And what is that?
It's related to documents. MFC is a multifunctional center. Well, people get some certificates, passports,
Provision, yes, of state employees, of people with
Ah.
official documents.
public services.
Understood. Well, such, you see, you work. And regarding you say you watch the internet less, I know how on the contrary would say you probably watch the internet more. And preferably not only
You know,
Russian.
unfortunately, there is no opportunity to watch more on the internet. I work, and in the evening I deal with children.
Well, I understood.
So, what were you going to tell me about the exchange?
I wanted to say that you need to go to advocate for him, that he is in captivity, not missing.
So this... And why did you decide that he is listed as missing and not in captivity?
I took that from the fact that I have known for the 4th year already how it works with you.
But I have official information that he is in captivity.
There is. Then very good, that's what I
Yes.
was trying to achieve from you. If he isn't officially in the list of prisoners, and from whom is this information? Just a question.
Yes. From the Ministry of Defense, because they make payments to my children.
And he is officially in captivity. That's it, well, everything is simple. Everything is clear. Well, all good. Not everyone is so lucky. Maybe because it's Moscow, probably.
This is probably because I work at MFC.
Well, yes, argument, I agree.
Ah, my girl. I still love you despite all the women, all the troubles. I still love you. I'm very glad to see you. Very glad to hear you. Thanks God that at least this worked out. Here, such is Here, such is the story.
Everything will be fine. Don't worry.
I'm not worried, all this anyway will end someday.
Of
That
course.
is, I love you very much. Kiss all the girls, kiss everyone you can reach.
Everything will be fine, everything will
That's
end
it.
someday. Yes.
Kiss you. I kiss you, I love you.
Bye.
Bye, turn it off.
Or are we continuing the
I
conversation?
don't know if you're
No,
interested. I can ask you one more question if you're going to answer it.
Well, ask.
Huh?
Ask.
Yes, why did Russia attack Ukraine?
I have no idea. You're a journalist, you probably should know this better.
Well, I know this.
I don't belong to journalism and don't deal with these issues. I don't read the internet, I don't watch TV.
You understand, I know this as a person.
Then let this opinion of yours remain with you. I'm not very interested in it and I'm not into this. Politicians
I just
deal with
asked
this.
you one question and you already threw so many remarks at me. And not a single one on the point. On the point only that you don't care. People are killed, not killed, why they are killed, what the reason are...
Yes, I don't want to discuss this.
Well, that's it, that's it. Take your ex-husband from prison, no, from captivity.
Well, you send him, you direct.
We will direct. As soon as they request him from your side, we will send him the same day.
Good.
Yeah. Yes.
What they should send you there, I don't know. They probably request, apparently you don't give back.
Yes, he's so needed by us
As I
here.
understand it, US journalists don't have the authority to send him back.
Well, I know how it works.
Well, deal with it personally since you know how it works. Otherwise, who knows there?
What does dealing with it personally mean? Here now they started discussing, for example, a truce, right? They started discussing.
Probably, I don't
The
know.
first statement of the president of Ukraine means consist in the
No,
fact.
I'm not very interested in this.
Well, let me tell you already, since you already accused me that our side doesn't give someone back, then
no, I'm not interested, thank you.
You're afraid that they will imprison you for listening. They wouldn't imprison you
No,
for
it's
this.
just not interesting to me.
Huh. Well,
Yes.
okay. That's it. Then,
Well, better deal with it so that my ex-husband is returned.
well, I'm kind of trying to explain the position of the sides to you. Well, you're not interested, so why should I tell more? That's it, okay. I'll finish.
Finish.
They started talking about truce agreements. So, the first position of the president of Ukraine, so within any agreements we take prisoners of war and exchange takes place. The position of president of Russia as before. Well, it is actually zero. That is, the word prisoners doesn't sound there at all. That's why our side makes efforts because it wants to return its people, while your side doesn't do this. That's all. You have these not made-up stories that cannot be silent about.
Well, I have complicated relations with my ex-wife. What to do?
And why are we calling her not... well, I understand, because she works in this
no,
very...
because I have in fact an ex-wife with whom I divorced 20 years ago, and there is an ex-wife with whom I recently divorced, let's see. And calling someone else is absolutely useless.
Why not the ex? Why not call the current one? Just interesting.
Well, she's not a wife yet, that's one, and just a woman. That is, there is no point in calling her. I didn't even remember her phone, just for fun. And now everything is said, in civilian life I was more mobile and active. Tourism, you know, redisposes to acquaintances and all kind of communication.
Well, such in principle, understood. It would be good if it also disposed of you to a dentist. It would be great, because I
Dentist,
see...
no. In principle, no. These are now so terribly brown, and usually they are...
They are not only terribly brown, they are also crooked and very
Yeah, they are
sparse.
crooked and sparse, but at least all mine, and that's already good. 50 years old, and I don't have a single filling. All teeth in place, not a single hole. Better crooked and sparse, but at least my own. Dentistry costs crazy
This
money.
is generally a separate
Well,
story.
again, Shrek is also not a handsome man. Here, under the brand of Shrek, it works very well. I have such a T-shirt and such a green hat. It works well.
You dressed up as Shrek,
Yes, repeatedly.
and then
Now I lost weight.
I don't understand something. Shrek is an American cartoon character. You can you walk around Moscow in the form of an American character. What is this at all? Where has this been seen?
Easily. Completely easily.
And the staples?
We did a fake Shrek wedding.
And the staples?
Gentlemen, we don't have it like... Honestly, you know, once I talked with one Belarusian guy. Belarusian seems to be a young, active guy, 35 years old. And moved to live in Russia for his purpose from Belarus. And has been living there for more than 10 years. When I tell him that in 1991, tanks shot at White House in Moscow, there was a war, he says, oh, come on, there was nothing like that. That is in neighboring state, which is quite assimilated with Russia. They didn't know that there was practically a cope that tanks were driving through the streets. This is a person who at that time was in an active young age. That is, he should have seen or known this. All the information that you have about us, we have about you or anywhere at all, it is generally distorted. And therefore, blindly believing that we are some kind of bad, you're some kind of bad, is absolutely not worth it. We are all adequate people who found ourselves in difficult situations.
I don't need to believe that is. I don't need to believe or not believe someone. Because missiles fly from Russia to Ukraine and kill people. And you come here with a machine gun to this land. Also, not to plant flowers and not to paint carbs, right?
Motivation and the results of motivation are completely different.
Motivation, result of motivation. When you tell me that you shouldn't believe, and should I not believe my own eyes?
I'm not saying not to believe what you see, I'm saying not to believe how it is presented. That's all.
And why should I present it? Why should I... well, for example, I shouldn't believe that you're orcs, right? Orcs, fascists, Nazis, and any negative epithets. So I shouldn't believe this, right? Good, I don't believe this. Here sits a person who came with a machine gun to my land. Who should I take him for? Well, enlighten
As an
me.
enemy, we are enemies and we are at war.
So, as an
In
enemy...
50 years, everyone will think completely differently about this.
In 50 years, when 50 years pass, then 50 years will pass. Let's
Let's,
go back to the times of World War II. Yes. So the fascists come, right?
What is fascism? It's some kind of political movement. But it was Germans who came.
I'm saying in the way they were called.
They were called that, but it was Germans who came, ordinary Germans. Moreover, not all of them were members of the party. Moreover, not all of them were actually fascists. They simply served their army and came there.
So.
And here they were enemies, the worst
So.
enemies. But now, after 50 or 80 years...
50 will be 50.
Yes.
Now we have a war going on.
Yes, now
and
there is a war.
trying to compare it with that war. Did anyone here try to justify them somehow?
At that time, no.
That is, everyone understood that they were bad, right?
At that time of the war, we were
That they are
bad to
bad,
each
right?
other, that's true. But after some time, we will stop being
So
bad.
what should I believe or not believe? I'm just trying to understand.
Well, you understand, you say that you can walk around Moscow in the costume
well,
of
that's
an American
humor in
hero
general.
well,
It's a
easily.
joke.
It's a
Well,
joke.
of course.
Well, then okay.
You just hate America exactly until it becomes inconvenient not to love it. The dream of any Russian, well, there are basically two. The first is to destroy America, and the second is to get a green
Honestly,
card
I
there.
don't care about America at all. The only thing I would go see baobabs or sequoias, those huge trees. I saw photos, it's beautiful. There are no more such trees anywhere. Everything else
In
doesn't
general,
concern me much.
this is ironic, but as for the war and relations, this is a serious topic.
I agree.
You want people to treat you like a normal person, right?
Well, everyone always wants
Yes.
that.
If a person with a machine gun came to your city to kill your wife, X or not X, how would you treat him?
As an enemy.
So, well, not like a normal person, right? You would probably also ask him the question, what the hell did you come here for?
Well,
would he
naturally.
ask? Well, you would ask. So why should we treat you normally? Not call you bad words and all that.
I'm not talking about how to treat people who came to you for war. Those who came, yes, that is, they are like enemies.
Yes.
They came with a machine gun.
Yes, yes, yes.
I came with
And
a
I
machine
don't
gun,
care
that's
about
it.
the
I
rest,
came as an
everything
enemy.
is simple.
The rest, that's why they are the rest. Until he comes to you with a machine gun, he is not your enemy.
No.
Just an ordinary person.
No. There are also those who help those who go with a machine gun. That is, there are those in your rear who help those who go to kill. They help them informationally. They hammer some ideas into their heads for which they go to kill people. And they justify it. Anyone starting from clergymen ending with so-called journalists, in my opinion, they're no better than those who go specifically with a machine gun.
In any case, the state of war is the state of war. That is, we are at war.
No, so the state of war might not have existed.
It might not have existed, but this conflict started God knows when, and God knows when it will end. More than 40 countries participate in this conflict, directly or indirectly, but they participate.
Well, directly or indirectly. Directly or indirectly, I'm in Ukrainian and you're Russian.
So?
Directly or indirectly, now we will take all existing camps with Russian prisoners of war.
So?
Here we will list them and there will be
Well,
all
eventually.
Russians. Yes. And then we will see who died in this war. And I guarantee you that this will be Russians and Ukrainians. And who participates there indirectly and who, yes. It doesn't change the fact that Russia attacked Ukraine 10 years ago, as you rightly point out.
Well, 10 years ago, there was an internal Ukrainian conflict there.
And what does the internal Ukrainian conflict have to do with Russia attacking Ukraine? How this justified
Well,
it?
just the development of a local conflict, which gradually draws in all neighboring countries, that's all.
No.
Well, you want to say that now, for example, by some absurd accident, some Ukrainian units entered the territory of Belarus. Do you think Belarus will not enter the war? Well, it will. Or some Russian equipment will take and get stuck from the Black Sea into Moldova. What, Moldova will not enter the war? It will.
What does this have to do with it? As you correctly said, a local conflict in Ukraine.
Yes.
Here we have a country, something
Yes.
is happening with us, right?
Yes.
What does Russia have
Well,
to
a
do
local
with it?
conflict in this case has the problem of escalation. That is, it developed the point that a neighboring country got drawn into this war, that's all. It's not about
How
right or wrong.
convenient it is for you, got drawn
No,
in.
wait, you asked me the question, what is your point of view, right? I tell you that this is the development of a local conflict. Initially, this conflict was not between countries, but an internal conflict of Ukraine.
No.
In which Western countries and Russia gradually got drawn in. And possibly some
Well,
other countries
listen,
will get drawn
Western
in.
countries did not attack us in Russia either.
Well, how?
Why involve them here, these Western countries?
Well, how? They mostly fight with Western weapons.
So what?
Well, that is, they sponsor this war.
Well, the Soviet Union was also sponsored by them at one time.
At one time, they sponsored the
in
Soviet
World
Union.
War II.
I say the state of war is a unique state.
No.
You
Unique
understand?
state,
Here you
when
cannot
we...
tie it to some moral principle.
Well, how can't
It's
you?
impossible because
well,
it's
how
war.
can't you? In World War II, there were also no good and bad, it turns out. There were no those who attacked and those who defended. There was no aggressor and
there
victim
wasn't
of
here,
aggression.
there is and will be. And
Well,
in the next
so,
war,
and
there
how
will be
them,
the exact same because
and
it's
how
war.
then can this be
You understand?
determined?
Well, how to say, there are things that
Well,
happen, right? Here there are
so-
people who communicate, talk to each other, right? But between them, fight may happen,
course.
stabbing may happen, someone may
Of
even kill
course.
someone, right? But this does not cancel the fact that at some moment they were people. If they remain alive after that conflict, they will again remain people. And at this moment, this is a unique moment, this is a special state of relationships, that's all. Which is not subject to any principles, any moral conditions, nothing. Well, there is just such a situation. And moreover...
I'm trying to understand. You're trying to describe a phenomenon now, right?
Yes,
Trying to describe
that
a
is-
phenomenon
this is
and
the
unite it
phenomenon
from
of
the
war.
moral principles. That is to remove responsibility from someone for the reasons of what is happening now. That is in this
No,
unique phenomenon.
the question of assigning responsibility is kind of not my question. This is after everything ends, there will be some international courts, something else. Like after World War II, there were someone was judged, someone was not
I don't
judged, and
care
so
at
on.
all whether
That is-
someone will be judged or not. Now I believe in my eyes.
And now
We
this is
started
like
talking from the fact like you always have this story that this is started 10 years ago in general. This started 10 years ago in general. Then it comes to the fact that there was an internal conflict in Ukraine. And then Russia somehow bombed and got drawn in. Here, was walking, stumbled and fell, right?
From the outside, it looks exactly like that.
From which
No,
side? From the
my
Russian?
personal point of view.
Well, then I will probably supplement your point of view with some information.
Okay.
When we had the Maidan, as I understand, you're talking about it.
No, I mean the conflict when some things started in Donetsk, Lugansk area.
So first, there was Crimea.
And Crimea wasn't after. I just really didn't follow the conflict and don't know how everything happened there.
That is, even with your higher education, you don't have an understanding of the geography of your country and our country. Well, that is the Soviet Union collapsed.
No, that's understandable. I am talking about the fact that I don't know what was primary, Crimea or Donetsk, Lugansk.
Crimea was primary, of course.
Ah, well then Crimea. I just technically don't remember. It was
Yes,
a long
here.
time ago.
Crimea happened exactly when we had the Maidan in the country. Yes, local problems. This can be looked at this way from your side as some local problems. And here we don't even have a government that can take responsibility for making this or that decision. That's when Russia attacks Ukraine under the guise of a little green man, to whom Putin later gave orders for the capture of Crimea. You have such an official order. That is, so the story that this were some kind random people, this is already refuted by your own words. And at this moment, Russia attacks and annexes Crimea. And only then what happened in the Donetsk and Lugansk regions happens. And only then, in which you already took direct part, happens on February 24, 2022, full-scale invasion, when the Russian army goes directly to the capital of Ukraine, to Kyiv.
So the sequence is this: Maidan, Crimea, Donetsk, Lugansk, full-scale invasion.
I remembered Maidan only so that you understand at what moment the annexation happened.
Well, so in fact, exactly the same thing happened with the Soviet Union. There was this putsch when the Soviet Union collapsed into a number of parts. This is an ordinary political process. There was a huge country that collapsed, and all this is still happening unclearly. Here, Yugoslavia was much smaller, and there are still troubles and misfortunes there. Here, Serbia and Kosovo are still fighting, and already
Right.
30 years have passed. This is bad, this is terrible. Ordinary people who have nothing to do with this conflict. They just live in these countries and live, but they are forced to go to war against each other. And people are normal, but they just have such a technical state of the country.
Isn't the one who defends himself forced? Isn't this the only forced side?
Well, in this case, yes, probably. The only forced side is the one that defends itself, I agree.
It's just that you're trying to compare again, right?
No, I'm not trying to compare, I'm saying how I see it.
Well,
If you
this
go
amendment,
into some stories of political assessments, I'm not strong
we
there.
are not even talking about politics now. We're talking about relationships. You started with the fact that this is how they treat, don't believe what they say, and then this whole conversation went spoon. And now again, you say it's a pity for ordinary people, they are forced. But only those who defend themselves are forced, because you are not forced. In fact, you are not forced even with your story. And with all this phantasmagoria that at 50 years old I will be useless at anyone and all that, and in general I didn't go to kill, and in general I counted on someone, you still are not forced, you still could say no and not go anywhere.
Yes, absolutely correct.
Well, that if the sides are not equal. Here there's a victim of aggression and aggressors. There are those who attack and those who defend.
The sides
This
are
is
not
what is
equal.
important for Russians to understand in this situation. They always, when you try to talk to them a little at such a simple level, they always immediately say that this is politics. What kind of politics is this? These are simple relationships between people. Here there are forced ones, and here there are those who go for some reasons.
Well, so this all the state of war, that's all.
In general, okay, that's it. We spoke out, exchanged opinions,
yes.
talked, communicated. Next time, if you want to talk, well, I don't know, maybe they will put some protectors on you and say go to war again. Then call me on Skype. I will give you time.